which includes following your divine guidance. However, you keep on growing, but harmoniously. What is a truly religious person? I would say that a truly religious person has religious attitudes. A loving attitude toward fellow human beings, an obedient attitude toward God's laws and God's guidance, and a religious attitude toward self-knowing that you are more than the self-centered nature, more than the body, and life is more than the earth life. What overcomes fear? I would say that religious attitudes overcome fear. If you have a loving attitude toward your fellow human beings, you will not fear them. Perfect love casted out fear. An obedient attitude toward God will bring you into constant awareness of God's presence, and then fear is gone. When you know that you are only wearing the body, which can be destroyed, that you are the reality which activates the body and cannot be destroyed, how can you be afraid? Pilgrim's Progress. Excerpts from the newsletters. 4 letters. One day, as I was answering my mail, a woman said to me, "What can people do for peace?" I replied, "Let's see what these letters say." The first one said, "I'm a farm housewife. Since talking with you, I've realized I should be doing something for peace, especially since I'm raising 4 sons. Now I'm writing 1 letter every day to someone in our government or in the United Nations who has done something for peace, commanding them to give them moral support." The next one said, "World peace seemed to be a bit too big for me, but since talking with you, I have joined the Human Relations Council in my town, and I'm working on peace among groups." The third one said, "Since talking with you, I have resolved an unpeaceful situation between myself and my sister-in-law." The last one said, "Since talking with you, I have cut out smoking." When you do something for world peace, peace among groups, peace among individuals, peace among yourself, you improve the total peace picture. However, you bring harmony into any unpeaceful situation. You contribute to the cause of peace. The most valuable things. After a wonderful sojourn in wilderness, I walk again along the streets of a city which was my home a while. It is 1 p.m. Hundreds of neatly dressed human beings with pale or painted faces are hurrying in rather orderly lines to and from their places of employment. I, in my faded shirt and well-worn slacks, walk among them. The rubber soles of my soft canvas shoes move noiselessly along beside a clatter of trim. Tie shoe with high heels. In the poorer sections, I am tolerated. In the wealthier sections, some glances seem a bit startled, and some are disdainful. On both sides of us, as we walk, are displayed the things which we can buy if we are willing to stay in the orderly lines, day after day, year after year. Some of the things we are more or less useful, many are utter trash. Some have a claim to beauty, many are garishly ugly. Thousands of things are displayed, and yet the most valuable things are missing. Freedom is not displayed, nor health, nor happiness, nor peace of mind. To obtain these, my friends, you too may need to escape from the orderly lines and risk being looked upon disdainfully. Negative versus positive. I have chosen the positive approach. Instead of stressing the bad things which I am against, I stress the good things which I am for. Those who choose the negative approach dwell on what is wrong, resorting to judgment and criticism, and sometimes even to name calling. Naturally, the negative approach has a detrimental effect on the person who uses it, while the positive approach has a good effect. When evil is attacked, it mobilizes, although it may be weak and unorganized before, and therefore the attack gives it validity and strength. When there is no attack, but instead good influences are brought to bear upon the situation, not only does the evil tend to fade away, but the evildoer tends to be transformed. The positive approach inspires, the negative approach makes angry. When you make people angry, they act in accordance with their baser instincts, often violently and irrationally. When you inspire people, they act in accordance with their higher instincts, sensibly and rationally. Anger is transient, whereas inspiration sometimes has a lifelong effect. Working for peace. A few really dedicated people can offset the ill effects of masses of out of harmony people. So we who work for peace must not falter. We must continue to pray for peace and to act for peace in whatever way we can. We must continue to speak for peace and to live the way of peace, inspire others. We must continue to think of peace and to know it is possible. What we dwell upon, we have to bring into manifestation. One little person, giving all of her time to peace, makes news. Many people, giving some of their time, can make history. Blessed are they who give without expecting even thanks in return, for they shall be abundantly rewarded. Blessed are they who translate every good thing they know into action. Ever higher truths shall be revealed to them. Blessed are they who do God's will without asking to see results, for great shall be their recompense. Blessed are they who love and trust their fellow human beings, for they shall reach the good in people and receive a loving response. Blessed are they who have seen reality, for they know that not the garment of clay, but that which activates the garment of clay is real and indestructible. Blessed are they who see the change we call death as a liberation from the limitations of this earth life, for they shall rejoice with their loved ones who make the glorious transition. Blessed are they who, after dedicating their lives and thereby receiving a blessing, have the courage and the faith to surmount the difficulties of the path ahead, for they shall receive a second blessing. Blessed are they who advance toward the spiritual path without the selfish motive of seeking inner peace, for they shall find it. Blessed are those who, instead of trying to batter down the gates of the kingdom of heaven, approach them humbly and lovingly and purified, for they shall pass right through. You can know God. There is a power greater than ourselves which manifests itself within us as well as everywhere else in the universe. This I call God. Do you know what it is to know God? To have God's constant guidance, a constant awareness of God's presence. To know God is to reflect love toward all people and all creations. To know God is to feel peace within, a calmness, a serenity, and an unshakableness which enables you to face any situation. To know God is to be filled so much with joy that it bubbles over and goes forth to bless the world. I have only one desire now, to do God's will for me. There is no conflict. When God guides me to walk a pilgrimage, I do it gladly. When God guides me to do other things, I do them just as gladly. If what I do brings criticism upon me, I take it with head unbowed. If what I do brings me praise, I pass it immediately along to God, for I am only the little instrument through which God does the work. When God guides me to do something, I am given strength, I am given supply, I am shown the way, I am given the words to speak. Whether the path is easy or hard, I walk in the light of God's love, in peace and joy, and I turn to God with songs of thanksgiving and praise. This it is to know God. And knowing God is not reserved for the great ones. It is for little folks like you and me. God is always seeking you, every one of you. You can find God if you will only seek, by obeying divine laws, by loving people, by relinquishing self-will, attachments, negative thoughts and feelings. And when you find God, it will be in the stillness. You will find God within. On fear. There is no greater block to world peace or inner peace than fear. What we fear, we tend to develop an unreasoning hatred for, so we come to hate and fear. This not only injures us psychologically and aggravates world tension, but through such negative concentration, we tend to attract the things we fear. If we fear nothing and radiate love, we can expect good things to come. How much this world needs the message and example of love and faith. The freedom of simplicity. Some seem to think that my life dedicated to simplicity and service is austere and joyless. But these do not know that freedom of simplicity. I know enough about food to nourish my body properly, and I have excellent health. I enjoy food, but I eat to live. I do not live to eat. And I know when to stop eating. I'm not enslaved by food. My clothes are the most comfortable as well as the most practical. My shoes, for instance, have soft fabric tops and soft rubber-like soles. I feel free, as I though I were walking barefoot. I'm not enslaved by fashion. I'm not a slave to comfort and convenience, for instance. I sleep equally well in a soft bed or on the grass beside the road. I am not burdened by unnecessary possessions or meaningless activities. My life is full and good, but not overcrowded, and I do my work easily and joyously. I feel beauty all around me, and I see beauty in everyone I meet, for I see God in everything. I recognize the laws which govern this universe, and I find harmony, through gladly and joyously obeying them. I recognize my part in life pattern and I find harmony through gladly and joyously living it. I recognize my oneness with all mankind and my oneness with God. My happiness overflows in loving and giving toward everyone and everything. On people in our times. In order to help usher in the golden age, we must see good in people. We must know that it is there, no matter how deeply it may be buried. Yes, apathy is there, and selfishness is there, but good is there also. It is not through judgment that the good can be reached, but through love and faith. Love can save the world from nuclear destruction. Love God, turn to God with receptiveness and responsiveness. Love your fellow human beings, turn to them with friendliness and givingness. Make yourself fit to be called a child of God by living the way of love. Spiritual growth is a process, the same as physical growth or mental growth. 5-year-old children do not expect to be as tall as their parents at their next birthday. The first grader does not expect to graduate into college at the end of the term. The truth student should not expect to attain inner peace overnight. Magic formulas. There is a magic formula for resolving conflicts. It is this. Have as your objective the resolving of the conflict, not the gaining of advantage. There is a magic formula for avoiding conflicts. It is this. Be concerned that you do not offend, not that you are not offended. On immaturity. What people really suffer from is immaturity. Among mature people, war will not be a problem, it will be impossible. In their immaturity, people want, at the same time, peace and things which make war. However, people can mature just as children grow up. Yes, our institution and our leaders reflect our maturity, but as we mature, we will elect better leaders and set up better institutions. It always comes back to the things so many of us wish to avoid, working to improve ourselves. My message. My friend, the world situation is grave. Humanity, with fearful, faltering steps, walks a knife edge between complete chaos and a golden age, which strong forces push toward chaos. Unless we, the people of the world, awake from our lethargy and push firmly and quickly away from chaos, all that we cherish will be destroyed in the Holocaust which will descend. This is the way of peace. Overcome evil with good, falsehood with truth, and hatred with love. The golden rule would do as well. Please don't say lightly that these are just religious concepts and not practical. These are laws governing human conduct, which apply as rigidly as the law of gravity. When we disregard these laws in any walk of life, chaos results. Through obedience to these laws, this frightened, war-weary world of ours could enter into a period of peace and richness of life beyond our fondest dream. Sorry. Grassroots peace activity. You can start a community peace fellowship with a peace prayer group for seeking the way of peace. In some places, my literature has been used since it deals with peace from a spiritual standpoint. Read a paragraph, dwell upon it in a receptive silence, then talk about it. Anyone who can understand and feel the spiritual truth contained therein is spiritually ready to work for peace. Then will come a peace study group. We need to get a clear picture of what the present world situation is like and what will be needed to convert it into a peaceful world situation. Certainly, all present wars must cease. Obviously, we need to find a way to lay down our arms together. We need to set up mechanisms to avoid physical violence in a world where psychological violence still exists. All nations need to give up one right to the United Nations, the right to make war. We people of the world need to learn to put the welfare of whole human family above the welfare of any group. Starvation and suffering need to be alleviated, as do fear and hatred. There are some national problems in connection with peace. Work needs to be done on peace among groups. Our number one national problem is the adjustment of our economy to a peacetime situation. We need a peace department in our national government to do extensive research on peaceful ways of resolving conflicts. Then we can ask other countries to create similar departments. After world problems and steps toward their solutions become pretty clear to you, you are ready to become a peace action group. You can become a peace action group gradually, acting upon any problem that you have learned to understand. Peace action should always take the form of living the way of peace. It can also take the form of letter writing to commend those who have done something good for peace to members of Congress about peace legislations, to editors on peace subjects, to friends on what you have learned about peace. It can take the form of public meetings on peace subjects, speakers on peace subjects, distributing peace literature, talking to people about peace, a peace week, a peace fair, a peace walk, or peace float. It can take the form of voting for those who are committed to the way of peace. Grassroots peace work is vitally important. In this crisis period, there should be a community peace fellowship in every town. Such a group can begin with a handful of concerned people. It can begin with you.